I'm Mike Lanesman and welcome to another video tutorial.
This Photoshop video tutorial will look at different ways of successfully converting color images into black and white. I think a very important point to remember is that a successful monochrome or black and white conversion relies on how we translate the colors into shades of grays, blacks and whites. We will be looking at three methods in this tutorial, each of these methods having their own subtleties, depending on the results you require. I think the poorest of these methods in converting an image to black and white would be to use the image adjustments desaturate command. All that is doing, it's just graying down your image with no particular attention to translating any colors into any shades of blacks and whites. So we need to look at other methods. The one method we can use is the black and white converter, which is found under the image adjustments black and white. However, in this tutorial, I will choose to show it as an adjustment layer and the benefits of that. We look at the layers panel, we head on over to the bottom of the layers panel and we select this icon, which is adding an adjustment layer. Clicking on it, we will find we can invoke the black and white adjustment layer. I think what's important to note is that our original image stays intact and the adjustment has taken place on the adjustment layer above it, which is the black and white adjustment layer. This also implies that this is a totally non-destructive effect, because all one has to do to get rid of the effect would be to delete this adjustment layer. When one invokes this command, the Properties panel will pop up, and this allows us to translate colors into shades of gray and to get the best result possible. This has often been compared to having an Ansel Adams inside your computer, because I think that's in fact what we want to be doing. Producing images with excellent blacks, whites and grays. Selecting the reds, we can selectively move them. We can lighten or darken the red content in the image. We will now move along and notice how when one adjusts the colors, how the different shades suddenly spring to life. This is a wonderful image to use because we've got all the colors in this image that are applicable for this tutorial. We've got blues, we can darken the blues, we've got magentas, we can lighten or darken the magentas. That will be the area around the eyes. And we can tweak it until we're getting the final result that we require. This completes technique number one. As an added bonus, you will notice if you look in the layers panel, in the adjustment layer, a layer mask has been added for us. The benefit of having a layer mask is that we can open up the layer mask to reveal the color on the layer beneath it. So what I can do in this instance is to bring back the color in the pencil. I think it would probably be a lot easier to take a selection tool. You can use the quick selection tool in the toolbar, and I'll just take a cross section of this pencil, make a selection as we require. With the selection having been made, let's take the other section. Selection is now in place. What we can now do is select the brush tool, which is that tool, and we can simply open up the mask by painting over the pencil. We're opening up this section of the layer mask to bring back the color, should this be the result you require. So just a really nice feature, a wonderful tool, the black and white adjustment tool, with the added advantage of having a layer mask. One important point to take note of when we're painting on a layer mask is to examine your foreground color. For this tutorial, for this layer mask, we do require the black foreground color. However, it can happen on occasion that if you create the layer mask, you might have a white foreground color in front. All one needs to do is hit the letter X on your keyboard, which will swap your foreground background colors for you. The next technique that I will show you will be that of the channel mixer tool. In order to invoke the channel mixer, we select Image, Adjustments, Channel Mixer. Now what the channel mixer will do, it's actually going to mix the content of the three channels of the red, green and blue. We're going to click on monochrome as we would like a black and white conversion. It's very similar to how the black and white adjustment tool works, however, it doesn't contain the full range of colors. We can adjust the red content, we can adjust the green content, and we can adjust the blue content. The constant will bring down the overall tonality, the overall brightness of the image, and we can drop that to this result. There we have method 2. For the third method, we will look at another correction tool, and that is called calculations. Again, we need to revert back to our original file. We will select File, Revert. And to invoke the calculations tool, we head on over to the image menu and we select calculations. This method will use a combination of the different channels as well, but without the sliders, but will allow us to see the blending results of using two layers and of blending these two together. You will notice by default that when this tool opens up, it is in the multiply blending mode. And from our understanding of layers, we know that the multiply blending mode will make an image darker. Let's have a look at what channels can be mixed and what the results will be. To begin with, in this image, I'm going to change the layer blending mode to soft light. And I'm now going to have a look at what the differences will be if we have a combination of the green channel and the blue channel. We can look at having the red channel mixing in with the green channel. And you can play around with the combinations until the best result is achieved. A good option for this image is to select the green channel for source 1. For source 2, we're going to select the red channel. You will notice that the result will be stored in a new channel called an alpha channel. To further experiment with this result, we could look at blending modes, and you will see very subtle results happen if we're working in between overlay and soft light, or in fact if we go to screen, we know screen will lighten the image as per our knowledge of blending modes in layers. So one of these options for this result, overlay or soft light, works really well. Click OK. We now need to preserve the black and white effect of this result, and we will head on over to the image menu, mode, and select grayscale. Click OK. It's always a good idea now to convert it back to RGB so that it can be used for printing purposes and any other uses that you may have, rather than keeping it as a grayscale image. So we go and convert it again by using Image Mode RGB. The image can now be saved, and this concludes the third method to show you your different options that are available for black and white conversions. I actually put this tutorial together because it came from one of my subscribers who wanted to find out from me if I had any other suggestions for her on how to successfully convert black and white images that match the result of when we used to print images back in the black and white darkroom. I'm hoping that this tutorial has shed some more light on black and white conversions, and you will use some of these methods to enhance your black and white conversions. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.